Hey guys, before this video gets started, be sure to go over to my Instagram account, Adam_Hassenjaeger, and click follow. This will give you the most up-to-date information on the channel, and you'll be able to see things that won't necessarily happen on the channel. Hey guys, Trail Chasers here. Is your bike starting to feel a little bit old and maybe slower than your friends? Well, don't worry, because here's our top 5 ways to make an old bike feel new. The first and cheapest option, as always, is to wash and clean your bike. Taking care of it's going to make it feel newer for longer. It'll also look nice and fresh. The best thing to do after you've cleaned it is to polish it. Then you got a nice sparkly brand new factory bike. Another cheap and fairly quick option if you're a little bit mechanically inclined is to replace worn out parts on the bikes. Brake pads all wear with time, so do the tires, chains, and cables. Replacing some of these parts can make your bike brake better, pedal better, and just all around perform better. It'll be a nice facelift to the bike, and it'll help it perform better for months to come. The third option on this list can be rather expensive if you don't do it yourself, but it's honestly not that hard to do yourself. I'd suggest the lower fork service and replacing pivot bearings if they're in need. You don't necessarily have to replace them, just taking them out of the frame, re-greasing them, making sure they're not gritty. It'll help make your suspension feel nice and smooth and continue to work well for the coming months. The next option, you're going to have to spend some money no matter what, but I think without a doubt it's one of the ways to definitely make your bike feel new. And that's to get a wider bar, shorter stem, and probably some better tires on there. Nothing really changes up a bike or makes it feel new like new parts. I always enjoy getting a box in the mail and seeing all the goodies that could get thrown on the bike. If you put your colors in right, you can always make your bike look different, and it's really fun to do, so I definitely recommend getting a wider bar, shorter stem first. If you have an older style bike with a long stem and short bars, it'll really help it on the downhill and just make you have more leverage on the bars, so it'll perform better for you. The last options on this list are by far the most expensive, but they actually do change the geometry of your bike and make it feel completely different. The more economic-based one would happen to be getting offset bushings for your frame. Your full suspension bike often has a bushing in it, and it is center drilled through it. Now, offset bushings are, as they sound, drilled with an offset, so you can use the offset to change the effective length of the shock, which will pull the suspension in more, which means it'll lower your bottom bracket, it'll lengthen your wheelbase, and it'll slacken it out. Usually offset bushings will run around $30 for a frame. If you want to get titanium, it's definitely going to be more expensive, but it's going to look cooler, it's going to be lighter, and it's going to be corrosion resistant. The next sort of middle ground expensive option is to get a Cane Creek angle set headset, or I believe Superstar Components offers a headset with an angle set, but I can't get Superstar in America. This is an option also if you would like to change the geometry on your bike. It will, again, slacken the head angle, it will lower the bottom bracket, and it will also add to the wheelbase. Now, one option that you do have on some forks is your fork may have an internal travel adjust. You can actually add probably 10 millimeters to 20 millimeters depending on what frame you've got and how it's sprung. If you got like a 160 bike with a 160 fork, you could do 180. That does raise the bottom bracket, but you are also adding to the wheelbase and slackening the bike out while getting a little bit more travel out up front. And the last and most expensive option is to get your bike repainted. It's pretty cool, pretty fun. If your bike's kind of knackered up and the finish isn't looking good anymore, I think it's definitely an option that you could consider. There's lots of companies that you can go to get it done. Fat Creations does beautiful paint jobs. Those are extremely expensive. You can get them powder coated at local shops in your area, or if you want, you can just do it old school and pull out a rattle can and spray something up yourself. It won't last as long as the powder coat or the Fat Creations, but if you want to do it on the cheap just to get a new looking bike, I guess there's worse things you could do to it. Anyways, this has been Trail Chasers. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It helps me get motivation to make more videos for you guys that watch my videos. Anyways, I'll catch you guys out on the trails. Bye-bye.